What's going on, guys? This is Britter from back with the Odin Project, and I did not get an answer yet about the last exercise, and I still haven't figured it out. Like, I've tried taking their solution and dropping it into the browser, and it works perfectly. Mine looks exactly like theirs. I printed them out and double checked each line and had someone else double check for me, and I just don't understand it. So I'm moving on to the next exercise, which is 5 flex-modal. This one is another very common pattern on the web. The solution to this one is simple, but it might not be immediately obvious to you. You'll need to edit the HTML a bit to get everything where it needs to be. A hint. Depending on how you approach this one, you might need to revisit the flex shrink property to keep a flex item from getting smashed. This is what the desired outcome is to look like. Our self-check, the blue icon is aligned to the left. There's an equal space on either side of the icon. The gaps between the icon and the edge of the card and the icon and the text are the same. There's padding around the edge of the modal. The header, text, and buttons are aligned with each other. The header is bold and a slightly larger text size than the text. The close button is vertically aligned with the header and aligned in the top right of the card. So this is what ours looks like right now. It's kind of a hot mess, right? So let's go back here and see what we need to do. It said we need to edit the HTML a bit, and I think that's to add the containers dot modal. Div class modal. We don't have. Okay, we do have a class modal. We have a class icon, close button, button continue, button cancel. Alright. So what do we actually need to do? We need to add a container. Where are we going to add the container? Do we have a header? No, we do not. Let's go back over here. Yes, we do. Div class header. Are you sure you want to do that? So before I go add anything there, we're going to do we're going to select our header. And we need to font size. What do we got going on here? Box shadow icon. Font size is 26 pixels. Border 1 pixel, 1 pixel. Padding, border radius. We need to select this header because we need to make the text bigger than this. How do I see what the text is bigger than? I'll give you this one for free. The body. Display flex. doesn't tell me the size of the font. The header is bold and slightly larger text size than the text. So let's just try font size. Let's try 10 pixels. I'm pretty sure it's probably needs to be bigger than that, but let's save it. And then let me make sure I'm saving this to the right spot. Flex-modal, save, replace, file, save as, flex-modal, save, replace. Okay. That made it smaller, so let's try 20 pixels. That's bigger. Font weight. Let's try 800. 800. No, let's do 700 pixels. Because this up here is 700, but that's for the icon. Alright, so it's bolder and it's bigger. Right? Now what? That's what the header's supposed to look like. Ours needs to be centered, so we're gonna have to flex that. So let's try display flex, justify content, and the header, text, and buttons are aligned with each other. The header is bold and slightly larger. This sounds like it needs to be spaced between, I think. Let's try that. Space between. Alright, let's see what it looks like now. Save. I'm wondering what's going on and why when I do anything it's not changing anything. Well, I lie. The font size did change. And I wonder if this display flex needs to be at the top. So let's delete this part. I don't think that matters, but I'm not entirely sure. There's padding around the edge, so let's try I think we need to do this. Align item center. Let's see if that did anything. I keep forgetting to save, I think. It's still not doing anything. The gaps between the icon and the edge of the card and the icon and the text are the same. There's equal space on either side of the icon. The close button is vertically aligned. go back over here, and I think what we gotta do is do a container. Not including the icon. Div class container and then I think we want to close it here. We need a margin. We need space here. So where do we put that? Text, margin, bottom, try 8. Save that, see what happens. Okay, that worked. Let's double it because it looks like there's more, it looks like they have more space there. Looks about right. We're missing stuff from the header. First of all, ours looks a little bit bigger. Let's make it a little bit smaller. And it's not bold. I thought it was bold, but it's not bold. Font weight. We need a margin here too. Display flex, justify content, space between, align item center, font size 18, font weight, and then margin bottom. Alright, let's see what that did. Save. Okay, that gave us some space there. We gotta move this guy over here. And this guy's way too close to the edge there. And all of this needs to be centered, although I'm not sure why it's not centering, because I already got the line item center. Oh, that's just for the header, but it's still not centered, which isn't making sense to me at all. The icon. What do we gotta do to the modal here? I think we need to display flex on this, and then oh wow. That icon there is what needs to not be shrinking. Let's do flex shrink 0. So we don't want that to shrink. Okay, that didn't shrink. And this is centered. Everything's centered now. I don't think that's right, but let's add some padding. Alright, so display flex padding, gap. We got the icon that's not shrinking now. And I don't think we need to do anything to the actual button. It's got a line item center, justify content center. Class close button. Div class text. Button class continue. Button class cancel. We're missing a close down here. Oh my gosh, this is driving me absolutely insane. Div. Because that. I'm wrong. This one goes with div class modal. Oh boy. So I messed up the divs. There shouldn't have been a div closed there. It should have closed down here. And that fixed it. This is still not. Let's try 900. Because the font weight, this is still not very bold. And it's not really getting bold. It's definitely in the center no matter where we're at now. Let's try 1900. That's got to make a difference, right? See, I'm not sure what's going on here with my virtual box, but some things just aren't changing no matter what I do. I mean, I got this is mostly looking the same, but this font weight is not changing. Am I using the wrong thing for that? I don't think I am, but am I using on the right thing? That's the header. Font size 18 pixels, and if I change it to 22. Yeah, it changes it. I think it's more like 20, not 22. I just can't make it bold. And I'm not quite sure why. Yeah, I have no clue why. Everything else looks good though. Let's take a peek at the solution here. So let's look at our HTML first. Mouse pad. That's different, which it should be. Modal, class modal, icon, container, close button, div class text. Okay, so we did that properly. We only needed that one container right there. All right. Now let's look at our CSS and see what we did wrong, because I cannot figure out why. I can't figure out why it won't change the font. So margin bottom 16 pixels, we got that right. Header, display flex, align items, justify content, we got those backwards, but that's okay. The font size was 18 pixels and the font weight was 700. Oh, it's not pixels. That's where I was messing up. Margin bottom. The icon is the one that was shrinking. And then modal, we added display flex, we added the gap, we added the padding. And then we didn't need to add anything else. So now, let me go ahead and close that. Now if I save this, it should be right. I was messing up and putting pixels and I shouldn't have been. There you go. Alright guys. That one was a little much, but it goes to show you if one thing is wrong, it will mess up everything. Alright guys, I will see you on the next one. Bye!